Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest where we're continuing our blind playthrough of Blueprints. Let's get into it. We're going into day 8. Thank you so much for joining me again. It is wonderful to have a companion with me as I go into this mysterious, spooky mansion. It's funny, I'm not sure how spooky it is. It's a weird thing to say because, you know, like spooky is like your own perception. I'm not sure how spooky, I'm not sure how much spookiness is actually going on. Oh, I got 20 steps from my sauna. Yes. Oh, I hope we're able to use them. Yeah, it's so interesting because, like, as I was saying in the last episode, you know, there are some things that make this seem like it's just a really fun puzzle adventure that we're on. And then there are many other things that make the story around this, the narrative in the game, feel mysterious and potentially sinister, that there are some quite serious things going on. But also, of course, just the vibe of the game. There are times when it's very, very comforting and actually quite mellow, but a lot of the vibe of the game is, of course, it's got a darkness to it. It's mysterious and unsettling in a way. The reason I'm looking at this, I don't expect the letter to be any different, but now I know that I can collect stamps, and I didn't see this stamp in the book in the library, so I wonder if maybe I just don't collect this one, or maybe I only collect it. No, it doesn't. I was going to say maybe I only collect it now that I've seen the book of stamps, but that doesn't make sense because the other one, that wasn't the case with the other one. Yeah, maybe I need to look at it with the magnifying glass before it appears in the book. Okay, either way. Well, I'm still going with my thing of, oh, hang on. Let me take a look at this again now that I'm So if this is Reddington, and it probably is, this is not showing the mountain peaks at all. This is showing, you know, like I suppose I don't know, a tributary between the mountains. I don't know if that's really the right term, but you know what I mean? Okay. I also think last night when I, you know, was in between episodes and I wasn't playing this game, but of course I'm obsessed with this game, so it's still running around in my mind. I think I might have figured out at least a couple of the well, let's do bedroom, right? Because the gaining steps thing I think is just a real bonus to have here, where we might go in and out more. I'm not sure, but then again, I don't know, how much do I actually do that? It would be useful to have a key, but then again, from the billiard room we'd get mystery prize. Maybe at the billiard room. Let's change it up. Let's get mystery prize. We know how to solve this now. Yeah, I think I figured out a couple of... Is that... Oh, it's just... I thought that was dye. I thought I was gonna get like a dye that I could reshuffle my draft. Nice. I was hoping there was something here. Great. All right, we're starting off with some cold hard cash. Let me finish this thought. I thought that I was... I think I figured out a couple of the pictures that I couldn't figure out. I think I figured out other words for them that makes them make sense. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I'll cross that black bridge when I come to it. Okay, I've just got to go. I have so many pages. Of notes now. So many. And I have a couple of plans for some new notes that I'm going to take. You know, obviously it's only like, you know, day one, my notes are ridiculous. Just a mess, you know, like it doesn't look like anything. I didn't know what I should even be taking note of, so it's all over the place, you know. But as I've gone on, you know, like pretty much after the first episode, my notes have become a lot more targeted and organized, and I kind of, you know, at each sort of stage of this game, I know what I'm, you know, kind of aiming to write down. So I think I've come up with a couple of, I think I've realized like, okay, now is the time to start recording. I've been noticing them, but I haven't been recording which rooms are associated with which chess pieces, for example. So I'm like, okay, I've got lots of notes on other stuff now. I'm a bit less burdened with these notes now. I think it's time to start recording the chess pieces. And something else that I've forgotten about. But right now, here we go. I've got the little code for how to solve this with the mathematical thinking now. Okay, so it's been a while. It's been a relative while since I've done this billiard room thing. How do we start this? It's on 20. Clicking 20 gives us the first thing. So blue is add. So are we doing from 20? No, it can't be from 28 add 18, right? Or is it just from nothing add 18 and then yellow is subtract 4. So let's see if 14 is the thing. Feels like maybe we start from 0. Yes, okay. So now from that, I had come back to this thinking that I'm using the previous number as the base. So for example, add 5 to 14 would get you 19. And then this is times 2. But no, that can't be the case. So actually, I think we forget about the previous number, right? We just work with the numbers that are in front of us. So 5 is kind of our base. Add 5, and then times 2 gives us 10. Yes. Ooh. This is a purple. This is a color that I haven't seen. So this, surely you have to think, what I have is I've got add, I've got subtract, I've got multiplication. This must be division. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. Yes. Ooh, we got all 4 colors now. I hope I'm not going to run into one of those, I don't know what you would call it, but I hope I'm not going to run into one of those things where you actually need to be doing certain numbers in a certain order, you know what I mean? You need to be doing certain arithmetic in a certain order. You know what I mean? I'm not a maths person, clearly. Okay, so where do we start? I mean, I'm kind of inclined to start with, you know, add 17 as a base. So we start with 17. Yeah, see, it gets tricky. I feel like this is a bracket issue, isn't it? Like, am I adding and subtracting first and then multiplying and dividing? The number is gonna be different, isn't it? I actually realized I hadn't written down the previous numbers because I was so full of confidence that I was going to get through this without needing to go back. Oh well, all right. I'm not so sure now. Okay, let's just try. So 17. Yellow is subtract. Let's take 15, so we've got 2. Pink is multiply? That's insane. 2 times 20 is 40. Oh. And then divided by 10 is 4. Let's... Ooh! Thank God it worked. I didn't want to have to do all of that again. Yes! You know what? I don't know if I'm ever... I haven't used any of these yet. But that's interesting. So that's twice I've got the key card from the billiard room. Oh, cool. I'm happy to have it. Just in case, I'm happy to have it. Okay, so we'll get back down to our regular old mapping work. Okay, the crowbar and the prayer is not one that I have figured out, but let me have another go at this. Let me have another go at this. Because the couple that I have figured out, it was kind of, all right, so the couple that I have figured out, they might not come up, so I'll just explain it. One is that there's a picture of a, I don't know, like a little sprig with some flowers on it. I realized that that is sage because I realized that it was coupled at some point with stage. Really, I just wasn't thinking about like what particular. I was just thinking it's a kind of flower, or like I felt like I needed to give it a generic name, like what kind of thing is it, rather than what type of plant is it. Because to be honest, I don't know. I don't know a ton about plants, and I wasn't thinking it was a herb. I don't know what sage looks like, honestly. But I just realized, like, okay, well, hang on. Like, if you just think of a word that is very similar to stage, one letter different, you get sage. It must be sage, right? Similarly, I realized that when I had a picture of a match next to a pine tree, that pine tree in that instance must be called a fir. And I don't know very much about pine tree types. I feel like that's kind of more American knowledge than Australian knowledge, but I have heard of fir trees. And the only reason I figured that out is because I was thinking it must be a different word to match. Match must not be the word. And I was trying to think what's something else I could call this. And I was stuck on flame for a while. And then I just went fire. What if it's just fire? And then, kind of instantly I realized, oh, fur. If you just take one letter off, it's fur. So using that same logic and just, kind of being open to different words, but really going from the word that I'm, like the anchor word that I'm presented with. The problem is I don't really know in either case what word I'm going to be playing with, but to me this is clearly a crowbar, but it's not going to be a word that's long, that is that long. So bar is the best I can come up with, because you wouldn't say crow. You wouldn't say crow for this. It could be tool, because it could just, another iteration of it could be another more generic word. Maybe it's even like open or steel, like maybe we're going that conceptual. Anyway, but I'm going to work with bar. So if this is bar, what would be one letter from bar? Bart. I don't bard, but it's not a bard, right? Bard would be a person with an instrument. It could be like adding a vowel in the middle, like bear, boar, but it's neither of those, right? Unless it's bear, like to bear something, but that would be just so ridiculously abstract for this picture. There's none of them have been that hard. Barrow, Barry, bars. I can't think of anything where there would be a letter at the beginning of bar. Yeah, I'm getting nothing with bar. It may be, but it's just not coming to mind is the problem. So, what if it's tool? What if it's tool? Stool? It's not a stool. I think there's even less chance of getting another word from the word tool that isn't stool. Right? It's not that many branch words. There's not many other words that kind of have this basis in them. And there's not much possibility for putting a letter in between the O and the O, is there? Like putting another So what if I do it in the I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this, but it's just worth having a little go, isn't it? What if I do it the other way? It could be prayer, but again, that's such a long word. I feel like it's very difficult to get anything from prayer. So what if we work from pray? If this is pray, I mean, it could be, if I'm really thinking a step removed, it could be something like beg. Beg. I'm writing this down to see if looking at the words gets a cog moving in my brain. But you know, that's entirely possible. You know, if it was beg, it could be coupled with a slice of Bega cheese. It's a brand of cheese, just in case you don't know it. Pray. Spray. Spray, but this is not a spray, right? In any way. Bang. I got nothing. I'm moving on from this one. I still do not know. I don't know what either of them are going to be classed as. I'll get there. All right, let's move on. Billiard room. Cool. So, yeah, what am I aiming for in this? We've been lucky enough to finally get the magnifying glass in the dark room. So I'm good with that one now. Obviously, I'd still like to use the magnifying glass absolutely everywhere. It's still going to be useful. But I got so much new knowledge in the last couple of episodes. I have pages of notes about it. So I have a ton of things to do. Definitely, what might be really important on this particular run is getting the mailroom and getting the library, because I've ordered a library book and something is coming for me in the mail. And the thing that's coming for me in the mail, I think is going to give me more information about the break. What is it called? Like the fuse room, whatever, the one that's got the fuse box in it. So that I feel like that's going to be an important combination. And I'm not sure. I feel like both of them have said something like coming in 1 to 3 days. So I feel like I have, like, if I don't get them this round, I might be able to get them the next day or the day after. But I'm a little afraid that maybe that's not the case. So I'd really like to be able to get them this round. All right. Let's not do guest bedroom because that'll cut us off. Let's do good old parlor. Nope, no magnifying glass. Fair enough. Hopefully, you know, there's still the possibility to find it elsewhere. Stars and stairs. So I is our letter in the parlor room. Or just in the parlor, I suppose I can say. Yes, let's play my favorite game. I love this one. This statement appears on another box. That's quick and easy to check. Oh, it does. So that kind of just automatically makes these two true and this one fake. The blue box is empty, the blue box is not empty. I did do that quick, which is sometimes not the best thing, but I felt really confident. About that. Okay, great. Thank you, Herbert S. Sinclair, Uncle. So this is the other thing I decided I was going to start taking more rigorous notes on, which is people. I have got scattered notes on people, but I think more and more names have come up in different places. And, you know, early on, because I didn't really have a sense for who was who, I still don't completely, obviously in a lot of ways, but so I've missed taking some notes, you know, in a couple of ways on specific people that might have been useful. So I'm going to try and be more systematic about that, about going like, oh, this one is a reference to Mrs. Babbage, you know, this is a reference to this other Harvey, you know, Denny has come up a couple of times, that sort of thing. Something is up with Denny. The patio, well, the patio would be really useful, but I don't have any other green rooms at this stage, so it wouldn't be the best use of the spread, but maybe that's fine. So if we do, okay, hang on. Look, our priority here has to be the entrances and exits. This would, yeah, none of these are going to allow us to get both sides, so we have to prioritize the nook, because otherwise we're just going to go straight down into that corner, and that's that. you know. And I mean, we could accept that and try to use the other entrances in the hall, but I think it's just got less chance of being useful, of being a useful endeavor. Ah, of course, we're in the ever important. So I also had a little bit more of a think about this, and I have yet another theory about this blueprint picture. Now, whether it was in the last episode or the previous one, we learned more about I have it written down somewhere, about the levers that are necessary to open the antechamber. And I'm just trying to find it in my notes, but it was something like there is one that's in the like, I don't know, the courtyard or something, one of the other green rooms, but it's broken. And I don't know if that means we can fix it or something like that, if it's still usable. But what this message said was just make sure that the east and the west levers are useful, are usable, are functioning. That's why I'm trying to find my notes so that I can see like what it specifically said about east and west. So, you know, so what I'm thinking is that it means there are specific rooms that can have the levers in them. But I was thinking, yeah, like where are those levers? I haven't seen any levers yet, right? So my theory with this is maybe one of those specific rooms you have to put here, like in this spot with the E. This E represents the east lever. So it's like this is where the east lever goes. We just have to get the right room here. Maybe that should have been the courtyard. I don't know. But I got the impression that it wasn't. I got the impression it was separate. Yeah, anyway, I have notes on that somewhere. Where do I have notes on the levers? I've got all of my notes on the indicators, on the terminals, where the terminals are located. About the west path, where you can access the west path, which is so interesting because it's in the... here we go. Antechamber lever. The greenhouse is broken, but the west and east lever ensure operation. Maybe that's all it said. Maybe it just said the east and west. So maybe I need to figure out what that lever is. Okay, all right. This is a room though. This is a room that has a chess piece in it. So the nook has... I'm pretty sure that's a rook, right? I don't know a lot about chess. I think the castle-y one is a rook, if I'm remembering correctly. Which would make sense because it's the nook. The rook is in the nook, right? The nook is in the rook. Also, we've got a plane and a plan. So we can say, well, we know that in this position, E is the letter anyway. So that's great. Thank you. All right, on we go. We really would like to go forward, I suppose. It's going to have to be the drawing room. Yep, everything else is a dead end. So we're going to use up a gem, which is not my... I would like to have 2 gems at a minimum, but... and something is definitely going on with these pictures. I just really feel that there's a whole puzzle going on with these things. You know, the numbers of people, the types of people and horses, who's walking, who's running. What's the mystery? What's the answer? Uncle, what's the answer? I've been here too long. I've gone crazy. Maybe that was his intention. The fact that there's a fire here, like a fireplace here that isn't on, is intriguing to me. And I feel like there's a mystery here. I feel like there's something secret here. And maybe the something secret is to do with these things. But I don't really know how to get started thinking about them. So I'm kind of just thinking that the game will give us a clue at some point. Okay. But drawing room is C. for the difference between crow and roe. Can't see any other objects around. I really want to use these phones at some point. If those, I swear to God, if those phones go off at some random point in this game, I am going to ruin the chair I'm sitting on. Let's just put it put it that way. Okay, so we got a couple of exits, but let's do north. So we can redraw here, which is interesting. So actually, one thing, if there are certain places on the board, you know, certain squares where certain rooms are possible, and if this is one of the squares where the drawing room is possible, then it actually could be a very smart way is to aim to come to this square first, and then to build downwards so that you are getting to where I currently have the nook, the one that's associated with the E and the blueprints. Maybe it would be beneficial to have the drawing room as your entry point into that square, so that you can redraw the floor plans to get the exact thing that you want. Yeah. Interesting. Maybe. So storeroom, no. Pantry, like garage, super interesting for a lot of reasons, because I feel like I might be able to get access to the east path from here. And it does come with 3 keys as well. But I'm actually going to redraw, see if I get something better. Commissary is actually really good now. Commissary is actually really good. There's a lot of stuff we can get there. But, is there many... The problem is I know there's a mystery in the chapel of some kind, but I don't know what it is. I've got the information written down, I guess, so that's fine. Let's do a good old spare room. Let's just do a good old spare room. Let's just move forward. Anything? No. Great. Nice seeing you, spare room. Door is locked, but I do have a key. Okay. We're getting up, which is heartening. It's nice to have forward movement, northward movement. But now I am stuck with either doing the pantry or the patio. Pantry for money, patio for gem. But also there would definitely be, like if I can come back here with the shovel, there will definitely be more possibilities. So I'm going to do patio. It also just feels like I have to put the patio, you know, on this edge, right? Maybe that's the only place it's available. Maybe you can only put the patio right on the edge like this. Can I have a barbecue? Nope. All right, gem. Yep, we've got that knowledge already. Cool. A couple of mounds we can use here if we come back with the shovel. Good to know. Other than that, there's no pictures or anything here, right? That's a problem. I haven't come across this situation very often where I've met a locked door and I haven't had a key. Not all of that often. All right, back we go with my tail between my legs. Let's hope we can go this way. It's a good thing we've got 70 steps to start off with today. Wine cellar. And I can also redraw these as well. I mean, I do know that I may need the utility closet, but, you know, it's not a burning priority for me right now. I love the idea of seeing into the wine cellar, and I would get 3 gems from this. I'm gonna do it. It might be a bit of a waste of an opportunity to move forward, but like I think, as I've said before, like moving forward is a lesser priority now to gaining knowledge, and a new room is an Excellent, excellent chance to gain new knowledge and just to enjoy. Oh, so cool. I got the battery pack. Okay. Provides juice to battery-powered contraptions. What? What is the contraption, though? All right, tier and tie. What is this? Wine cellar. So, I is the letter. Cool. So there's 3 gems somewhere in here, but what else has this room got going on? Other things to interact with? Can I have a little drink? Okay. Oh, so hang on, let me just take a look at this before I grab these. These are laid out in a very interesting way. Pink, blue, and green. Don't know if that has any relevance, but I'm saying it out loud just to think about it. Okay, so we have a super interesting crest here. Obviously over the side, we've got our holly leaves. And there's like a, I don't know, 3 stripes. Then over the other side, we have our swan. This, you know, like if this is a family crest, and the swan, of course, might be a swim bird. And there are also 2 spades under the water. And then on top there's a knight. Right, that's like a knight helmet. And then we have, oh gosh, let me remember my schooling on Roman numerals, beyond, 1 to 10. So I think M is one. Is M 100 or 1,000? Maybe it's 1,000 because this is going to be a year, right? Probably. So let's say 1,000. CC. Oh man, I don't know. Is C 50? I don't know if that makes sense. No, C must be 100. I don't think it would make sense if it was 50, like 50-50s. Let's say C is 100. So are we saying 200? And then we've got 13. So is it 12, 13? I could be totally wrong, and all of you Roman numeral fans out there are shaking your dang heads at me, but I can look this sort of stuff up afterwards to to double check it, but that's my best guess at the moment. 12, 13. And that's a nice that's a nice looking number. It seems right. The holly and the swan, eh? Like if this is a family crest, is it the family crest for this family, that lived here? Like, did they make their own crest? If it's a relatively recent quest, then what it makes me think is that he is the holly, our granduncle is the holly, and his wife is the swan. And they are joined together in a house. But obviously if it's an older family crest, then it can't be them. It just has to be his crest. The 2 spades. Interesting. I don't know what to take from that, but that's definitely going to be super useful at some point. I reckon that year has got to be a code in some way. Okay, cool. Great. I love that. A new room. Wonderful. Do you know what? It's not as if it's like a basement or anything, but it's definitely like down a tier, right? And the other thing I have on my mind is the bedroom that has the downward pointing hand in it. Like, we've seen another hand pointing towards what turned out to be a safe. What could that downward pointing hand be pointing towards? Like, what can I do that's downwards? And so I was just thinking about that wine cellar, like, well, maybe the wine cellar is something that I could build near that room. You know, like if I can go do bedroom and then wine cellar, maybe, you know, like maybe it's pointing, but I don't know, maybe it's some entirely different. All right. So we can't go any further forward in that direction. But I have remembered just now, I should have remembered this right from the beginning. It's all good. I have remembered that we have the code to get into the apple orchard. So let us go and do that as a new priority. Where have I written that down? $11.28. Got it. $11.28. There are these, man, there are so many doors out here. So it's, you know, and there's other gates to other parts of the grounds. Like, there's a lot going on. Something else that occurred to me at one point. Where is it? Here we go. I was actually just looking again at the... This is from looking at the first episode again, when I was just encountering all of this stuff. And at that time, you know, I had too much in front of me. I didn't know what to take notice of or anything like that. But looking at that first episode again, looking at this directory, made me realize, what is number one? Like, entrance hall, you would think would be number one, because that's our first room. It's the first room we encounter every single day. It's such a basis in this game. What is number one if it's not the entrance hall? We do know that there are things going on in the grounds, and I think that I'm fairly sure. No, I know that there has been at least one explicit reference to a room that is to the bunker. That's right. There was a reference to a bunker, and you have to think that the bunker is in the grounds and not in the house, right? So, you know, maybe the bunker is room number one because it's outside of the house. Anyway, something's swirling around in my brain. This certainly looks like the bunker, right? This in every way looks like a bunker. I'm going to go on and assume for the time being that this is the bunker. I think that's a safe assumption for me to have. Anything going on back at the campsite? Like, you know, I don't know if anything ever appears here different. Nope, just the same message. Cool. I love being able to visit though. Visit it though. Ooh, great, here we go. Wow, I wonder what's going to come of this. 11:28. Thankfully, that's a pretty easy number to put in here. Thank you, game. Nice, simple numbers. Oh, exciting. Oh. The apple orchard has been permanently unlocked and added to your campsite. That's just a nice bonus because, in a sense, I was going to permanently be able to get in here because I have the code now, but it's nice to not have to do that. Starting tomorrow, you will start each new day with an extra 20 steps. An extra 20... Yes! That is so handy. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Wow. I wonder if this will happen as we gain access to other areas on the grounds. Will it continue to extend our base step count? And so gaining access to the different areas of the grounds like the bunker is a way of kind of, you know, gaining the capacity to progress further in the game. You know, like everything is progress, but like a way to gain permanent, substantial capacity to just do more on each day. That's incredible. To be honest, that's incredible because I've actually only run out of steps on one day and we're on day 8 now, you know? So like, yeah. Has it been one day? Oh, no, a couple of days. No, there was one day I think even the first day I did so well into, I really feel like the first day I did so well, actually. Like in terms of just the number of rooms that I was able to get out. Aha. Hang on, let me just look around first before I click on anything. So, all right, this is a sort of a self-contained room. Yeah, anyway, so on that first day I did so well, I made so many rooms that I think the day ended with me actually running out of steps because I'd walked around so much, which was pretty cool. But there was at least another day where I called it a day because I just didn't have the steps to do anything else. Okay, so broken pots. So this is a garden shed. Just stuff. Aha. Oh, no? I thought that I had found a thing. Have I not found a thing? It looks like a little thing to find, right? What is this? I mean, I gotta say, it could be a weird little crown for a little doll. Maybe it's just very, it's conspicuous, right? Like, why would you even put this here? It's a weird little detail. But I cannot do anything with it. Okay, let's read this. Anything in the pots? Nothing I can see. Okay. Gardener's Logbook. April 10, 1992. So fairly... not that long ago, because it's currently 1993, I believe. I'm just writing this down. April 10th, 1992. I have so many dates, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with them, but I'll get them all down just in case. When I first came upon the estate in the capacity of the new groundskeeper, I was a little dismayed to find that my predecessor had kept no notes, no logbook, and no record of any kind regarding the various gardens and green rooms of the house under his care. As a result of this improvidence, in the first few months of my post I suffered a number of embarrassing professional blunders that I believe could have been avoided, with even a few scraps of imparting wisdom from the previous groundsman. To that end, I will make an effort to make some record of my dealings on the estate inasmuch as it pertains to horticulture and general tomfoolery. Robert Nogula, groundskeeper. Okay. Robert Nogula. Among my many commissioned duties, I have been tasked with the conservation and oversight of Mount Holly's alluring grounds. My domain stretches from gate to gate and encompasses the apple orchard, entrance drive, and the east yard. Ah, the east yard, so that must be the one sort of just around the corner. Okay. Fortunately for my workload, but not west? Not west? You don't get the west path? Oh, that makes the west path so much more interesting. Not even the groundskeeper goes there. Fortunately for my workload, the maintenance of the west grounds, it says immediately after, has not been a priority since Lady Epson's death and the ensuing closure of the west wing. Right, okay, that was an event that was mentioned in the note to the staff that we find, I think, in the West Wing Hall, right? Lady Epson's death. I've kind of forgotten her name, though. Lady Epson. Dead as a doorknob. It's funny that they talk about the closure of the West Wing. And yet, I have had no issues. Nevertheless, I take some pride in my work, so I still endeavour to brush the west path weekly, even if none but myself take notice. In addition to maintaining the grounds, there are eight green rooms within the house that require some level of upkeep and light groundskeeping. Okay, so that is actually the number that, like, if we go to the room directory and we go to the section on green rooms, it does actually show 8 blank spaces there. I thought that might just be a placeholder image in a way, and it might be any number of different numbers, but maybe that actually, yeah. So at least for the green rooms, that is the number of green rooms. The majority of these I discovered are only draftable on the perimeter of the house. That's what I was just saying. Along the east and west wings. The terrace, patio, veranda, morning room, greenhouse, and secret garden all... secret garden. All fall within this category. Oh, but hang on. There are 8 green rooms. The majority of these are only... Okay, so only 7 out of the 8 need to be on the east or the west perimeter. I'm going to make a note of. So, terrace, patio, we haven't come across most of these. Veranda, morning room. I wonder if there is a room that you need to find that increases, that puts some of these into the drafting pool, essentially. Greenhouse. We've had reference to the greenhouse as where the broken lever is. Actually, I don't think I've actually drafted the greenhouse. And secret freaking garden. My God, I really want that one. 5, 6. Hang on. Terrace, patio, veranda, morning room, greenhouse, and secret garden. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so sorry, 6 out of 8 green rooms. So there's 2 green rooms that can go elsewhere. But I'm just thinking about it. All right, so we've come across the patio for sure. I think we just drafted the patio. Maybe we have come across the greenhouse. Maybe the greenhouse is the first green room that we drafted. I've sort of forgotten. didn't stick in my head exactly what it was called. I was just like, oh, the green outside one, kind of, because it was in day 1 that we got this. Okay. The soil. Oh, what is this? On the one of the first tasks I undertook as groundskeeper was to conduct a survey of the various plots of soil underneath each slot on both the east and west wings of the house, and while I would have preferred a full survey of all 45 plots of the house, it was clear that the inconvenience such an undertaking would produce was in no way worth the extra data, especially considering the rooms that would benefit from this survey only ever appear in the wings. To quantify soil quality, that was a lot of information about just that particular point, which makes me sort of sus about it. Anyway, to quantify soil quality, I measured the soil's capacity to support crop growth and maximize the promise of high yields. The survey ended up taking 2 weeks due to some difficulty reaching the higher ranks, but took him 2 weeks to reach the higher ranks. Interesting. But the project, I mean, I've hardly been up there. I got there on day 1 and I've hardly ever been back there. But the project was well worth the effort. As suspected, the room position has a direct relationship to the amount of fruit spread from gardens and the amount of flowers that can bloom in a greenhouse. Hang on. The room position has a direct relationship to the amount of fruit spread from gardens. The amount of fruit? Do we even get fruit in these? I can't remember. And the amount of flowers that can bloom in a greenhouse. That's a really interesting one, and I don't know what it means yet. But now I'm so curious about whether I have drafted the greenhouse on day 1 or not. But I have no memory of encountering flowers in any, outside of any background kind of, I don't know, I don't remember flowers in any way that I could use them or they seemed interactable or particularly notable, you know what I mean? But we've now had a couple of references to flowers in the greenhouse. There was something else that was about It might have been to do with like the amount of water that went to the greenhouse or something like that from the pump house. But there was some reference to, yeah, to the flowers. So we definitely, I don't know how I'm going to use this yet, but we definitely need to make note of, look at that. Barren ground is our important E blueprint square. That's very interesting. That is, man, what's going on with that room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just drawing myself up a grid. So there is only one barren ground, and then we have poor soil, rich, poor, poor. I'm going up from the bottom left. Good, 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 and poor. And then we have from the other side, from the, let's go from the top. We have rich, good, rich, poor, good, rich, good, good, poor. Just drawing myself a little key there. Great. Okay, I've got all of that down. Brilliant. I don't know how I'm going to use that yet, but but I know I will. Okay, let me have a little sip of my coffee here. Alright, smudge pots. What the freaking hell is a smudge pot? Is this stuff that's outside? A few years ago, the Baron made the long overdue decision to switch from gas lighting to electrical power. The installation of the new system was a substantial undertaking, as almost every room in the house had to be equipped with new fixtures and wiring. Thankfully, these renovations did not extend beyond the mansion's interior. Oh, I'm just thinking now that they have all of those electrical wires coming from the house, right? Thankfully, these renovations did not extend beyond the mansion's interior, and all the lamps and equipment used outside of the house are still connected and powered by gas line, including but not limited to the orchard's smudge pots. So that must be that pipe outside that we can manipulate. I'm glad I haven't done anything with it yet, just so I could learn about it first. The smudge pots found among the apple trees here in the orchard are a critical necessity thanks to the cold temperatures and high altitude of the estate. These gas-burning stack heaters prevent frost and should be kept on during the winter months to ensure a daily yield of apples. When the smudge pots are not in use, the orchard's gas line should be turned off to conserve resources for the estate's other gas-powered machinery and appliances. Okay, so first off, all right, I've come to an important question that I feel like I probably have the information about this already, and I just haven't taken notice. Are we currently in summer or winter? I had the impression that they were saying that it was... I know that they were saying I was here previously in the summer. For some reason, I had felt that we were currently in the summer as well. As in, like, I just always come here in the summer. Maybe that was a weird assumption that I made. It's a bit hard to tell from the environment, from even looking at the mountains, like, is it summer or winter? It doesn't give me a... I mean, it's obviously not winter, like snowy wonderland winter, but I don't really know what the climate here is. So, yeah. So, are we currently in summer or winter? And okay. Either way, when we turn, the orchard's gas line should be turned off to conserve resources for the estate's other gas-powered machinery and appliances. Hang on. Whoops. Was there more? There's more. Okay. After a few months of idleness, I finally have a new cause to champion, and I have submitted a request for a change of scenery. Specifically, I would like to replace the statue of Orinda, currently in the cloister, with the much more appropriate angel, Rhina. After all, as beautiful as the statue is, shouldn't the greenery of Mount Holly be governed by the paragon of gardening? That is so cute. Though amused, I do not think Anne took the request too seriously, though she did humour me and listened to me rave and pontificate on the subject for the better part of our lunch yesterday, and she wonders why I avoid tending the cloister. Truth be told, I have forgotten how to access the inner garth and am too scared of chastisement to probe for the particulars for a third time. My best rendition, pretty good considering I have only ever seen Reiner's depiction in the chapel. Ah, okay, so Reiner is one of the angels in the chapel. Okay, again, I don't know how this is going to be useful in particular, but I'm going to do a very, very rough little drawing here of the basics. Like, I get it. This one looks like a gardener. Okay. And this is Reiner. Maybe the name is important. You know, like maybe the name is used in something that's like an important code to the gardener. Maybe it's just important that I identify, you know, all of the angels in the chapel at some point. Another thing is Anne, I do actually think, yeah, Anne Babbage. Yep. So Mrs. Babbage is Anne Babbage. Got it. But the one that's in the cloister currently is Orinda, and Orinda has come up many times. But that's it. Okay, that was a ton. I don't know what you are. I'm suspicious of you, and I don't know why I can't do anything. Ooh. A sundial. But does it change? Does it move? Does it matter? What is going to happen if I make a change to this gas line? Also, I'm in a freaking apple orchard. Like, can I have an apple? Can I have an apple? No. Maybe if I turn the gas off, I get an apple. Maybe they will fall off the tree or something. Nope. Nothing for me. You guys are the smudge pots, I think they were called. Let's give it a try. What can I... what else can I do but try? Oh! Okay, it's lighting a kind of a blue gas fire. Whoa. Oh! Oh my god! So we just lit one of 4 flames. We just lit one of 4 flames on that thing. What if I do it again? Ah, turn it back on. Okay. So now I can see that the gas... Right. So let's leave it off. Let's just experiment. Let's see, like, what impact this has, if any, on the house itself, you know? Let's experiment. I don't think that will be permanent, right? We'll probably... Whatever that is out there, we probably have to turn all 4 on during a particular day, I'm guessing. And I suppose... Maybe... Yeah, I don't know how to get into the bunker, do I? I looked around, I couldn't see anything to interact with. What about you, Stump? Little suspicious Stump. Yeah, I'm guessing that maybe even in other... maybe in other parts of the grounds, there are other, you know, gas switches. Yeah, you can see it there. And then there's this thing down here that I've seen from, like, the start of day 1. I can't wait to go there. I can't wait to find out what's going on down there. Maybe that's the whole thing with room 46 is like, it's down below. It's down below the house. Now this gate... This must go to the east garden, where the groundskeeper would have had access to. But I don't know how I'm just bumping, bumping my head, headbutting it. Come on, open. No, I don't know how any of that works. Maybe there's a, I don't know, a button or something inside that we need to push to get that open, to get the bunker open as well. Could it be that this is all something in the security temple that I've... The security temple in the security room that I've... Like in the network? I don't know. Okay, so the lines go to whatever this door is. I mean, this could also be the bunker. It's just the other one looks a bit more bunker-ish. But this one gets electricity, which is interesting. Maybe this is room 46, because it seems like if you get electricity, it just seems from what the groundskeeper was saying that, like, you're a part of the house. You know? I don't know. Well, since we're out here, I want to go and just take a look at this flame, just to see if anything... Just to see if anything happened. Pretty, but no. Look at that. I want to go down there. I want to go down there behind the waterfall. Alright, we got 3 more to turn on, and then what? And then what? Maybe you're standing here. Surely it's to do with the mountain, right? Because this is the view that you have. You put all 4 of these flames on, and this weird ass peak in the mountain disappears, right? Maybe that's it. I wonder where the town is from here. Because I can't see anything indicating it. But I do note that the electricity wires go all the way out there. Maybe that's the west path. Or maybe that's towards the town. I don't know. And then there's this as well. Very strange. I don't know how we get in there. And then, since I haven't been back here in a long time, I'm going to go and take another look at this one down here. This one we could go into. Under the bridge, but there wasn't much we could... There wasn't really anything we could do here. But maybe I'll notice something different this time. It's creepy as... There are things here. It would be nice to light them, but I cannot. And then it is darker yet darker. I can't see anything. I can't see anything but boxes. Alright. Something going on here, but I don't know what. I don't know what. Something new? Do you have secrets? Do you have secret items? Okay, so for the time being, I feel like that's all we can do in the west. But when I've got a key, I should remember, if I can, if I've got a key and I'm near the east, the entrance hall, I should remember to try and come out to see if I can open this gate, because they said you could access the west path from this gate or from the garage, I believe. I do really want to figure out... Make a wish! Oh, I've probably never stood here with a coin before. What? It's been so useful to come out and take a look at everything again. What did I wish? What did I wish for? I wonder... Okay, well that's interesting. Noted, game, that's a possibility. Maybe if you do that before you drain the fountain or something. Yeah, it just doesn't open. But come on, can't you just reach around and open this up? So maybe it's all... There's nowhere to put a key in. I mean, that doesn't mean that we can't use a key here, because maybe it'll just work anyway. But again, maybe it's something that you need to open, you know, from, I don't know, some kind of control inside. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you can only access it from the garage. Alright, well, back in. Here we are again. So, I guess let's try going here. Let's see what we get. Oh, mailroom. Oh, this puts me in a real quandary. Because only the corridor would allow me to go forward. But the mailroom will get, let's look. This might be a run where we don't go very far. But then again, it's not about going far. It's about having the possibility to create more rooms. And, you know, maybe it's also important that I get the library, you know, maybe this run or maybe the next 2 days. But I don't want to take for granted that I will come across it, you know? Let's do the mailroom. I feel like it just... Yeah, let's do it. We've got the opportunity. Oh, and we've been gifted. We've been gifted with the magnifying glass. I love the magnifying glass so much. Okay. So, where's my package? Here? Hey. Customer copy. Packing slip of the Sinker Company. Okay, here's yet another address and a bunch of numbers for me to write down. So Sinker Company is at 445 West Barbaron Avenue. The date it was packed was November 13. It's kind of interesting. By K. Thompson. K. Thompson, who are you? This is, you know, a lot of this is probably never going to be useful, but I feel like I gotta write numbers down. 11577778 serial number, department 604. Okay, oh my gosh. Items included in this order. Brass compass, silver key, and 2 keys. So this is... This is interesting because the main thing that I was expecting from this is that it would give me sorry. The main thing I was expecting from this is that it would give me some more information about the what do you call it? Like the fuse box, whatever they're called, indicators. Maybe I misunderstood. So maybe this is just a gift of great things, of great items. But that does mean that I have to use these today, or I have to, you know, get some of them in the check room or something like that. Okay, either way. Shipped 1113, invoice 635, and customer order number was 5262. And I, it is in red. It is in red and bold. Doesn't, it doesn't look unimportant. No claims for shortage will be allowed unless this packing slip is returned to us with details within 8 business days. Huh. Oh, okay. All right. A navigational compass. Draw floor plans leading north more frequently. That's a really good item. Obviously, if what you're aiming to do is to go north, that is a really good item. Okay, unlocking a door with the silver key leads to a room with many doors. Right, okay, I think I understand. So you can use this anywhere that you would use a regular key, but you will have the ability to draft rooms that have multiple entrances. Okay. Right. Both. So actually, I wonder if when you get this package, if it's the same things every single time, because together, everything in there is like really helpful for being able to go further north. Huh. So you could sort of like arrange to get this package, when you want to try a really good run. All right, this is what I was thinking of. It says more detailed instructions will be sent. Oh, I misunderstood. Will be sent by electronic mail to the address the client has provided. So that's probably what we have already got. Okay, I misunderstood that. That was just me not reading in detail. Okay, but so we only have these particular instructions on the number on the way to get purple. I feel like I've a little bit started to figure out some other stuff. Okay, all right. Well, either way, it's starting to get a little dusky out here. I do have a key with me now, so I'm going to stand at this gate and see if it allows me to open the gate now. I reckon it won't, because I think it would otherwise have told me, yeah, it would have given me a locked message. It hasn't given me a locked message. Oh, what's the deal with this well? What did I wish? What did I wish? What will happen? This is very pretty, very pretty. Maybe something will appear here tomorrow because of my wish. Okay, either way, we've got all of this nice, cool stuff now. I've got the freaking security key card. I've got a silver key, compass, battery pack. Oh, yes, look at this, permanent additions. And I reckon that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I reckon there's 4 slots there for permanent additions. Oh, man, I'm so happy to have that. I'm so happy to have that. Every day is a bit easier now. Every single day is a bit easier. Okay, but I haven't set myself up super well to go far today. But I do have a key now. I got 2 keys. Actually, I got 3 keys. So I could either choose to do this other spot in the entrance hall, or I could go back to the patio and try from there. I wonder. What is the better path? Also, I haven't actually really figured out what the significance of these 2 pictures is. Like, they're both cards. There's a queen and an 8. I can't figure out, aside from card and card, I can't figure out what similar words they both indicate. If that's what it is, maybe it's something different. All right, patio or here. Let's go here. We're here right now. Let's give this a go. Okay. The smartest thing to do would be the hallway. Yeah, absolutely, because we don't have that many options. We really need to do this. So hallway, we've got pin and pine, which means E is the letter here. Great. And if we try to go north, so bad, I mean, it's the only good one, but it's a bit of a waste for one of the sides. But let's do it. Let's do it. We're here to create possibilities for ourselves. I wonder if while I'm here, let's do this one because it's in the corner and maybe we can use it to, yeah, to like use the storeroom or something. Okay, hang on. So this is exactly the perfect place to either put the storeroom or to put the walk-in closet. And I don't think I've used the walk-in closet yet. It would take a gem, but it will have 4 items in it. And it's a new room. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sleep mask. So we get 5 steps with each bedroom we walk through. That's amazing. I wonder... So, yeah, I suppose maybe this is the walk-in closet. It's definitely the walk-in closet for the wife. Is it also the closet for the Lord as well? Hard to tell. These kind of look like men's jackets, but I don't know. They could be women's coats. Yeah. All right. So we've got the swan there, which this just really makes me think that she's associated with the swan. Okay, hang on. Yeah, and that's her, right? I really think that this is her. Okay, so she's got a picture of herself. So, oh my god, what the hell? So we've got a gem. We've got a key. What is this? A rabbit's foot? A genuine, everybody. A genuine lucky rabbit's foot. Greater chance of finding items. We have such, look at the stuff we have. If I can keep this run going, we've got a lot of opportunity to make good use of things. Either way, we're learning. It's fine. We're learning either way. We're getting, all right. So, stag, tag. All right. So, the walk-in, S is the letter here. Just a lot of shoes and a lot of things. I love just seeing, you know, like I suppose the life that they had in this house. So presumably this is hang on, was this black before? I'm feeling a little creeped out. I was looking at these items so much. Was this black before? Oh, also, I might have missed a couple of these somewhere, but that's a pawn, right? So the walk-in closet, I feel like these don't change. The walk-in has a pawn, right? We'll make note of that. This will be just this chest stuff is just going to be stuff I build up slowly over time as I notice it. But apparently it said there are 4 items. Right? It said there are 4 items. The stylish and smart clothes in this generously sized closet belong to the former mistress of the estate. Oh, there you go. They're answering it for me. Lady Epson. Though the small dressing room has not been used in many years, it is nevertheless kept up and preserved in the state you now find it. One thing I'm not doing systematically is reading about the rooms. So I should do that. But right now I want to find what this other item is. Maybe it's something I need something else to find. No, yeah, it's her picture, but if this is the same as all of the other versions of it I've seen, there's nothing to notice. I mean, you're not telling me that this is an item, that these are items, right? Because it hasn't come up anywhere else. Huh? This is weirding me out. Have I missed that I picked something up? I picked up a key, I picked up a gem, I picked up the rabbit's foot. The rabbit's foot is supposed to mean that I get luckier finding items. And I feel like I'm told that there's an item in here and I don't know. It must be hidden. Maybe I need to come in here with the metal detector. I cannot find anything. I mean, there's so much in here. Should be able to rifle through all of this stuff. You know, maybe I can move something and a secret little compartment will open up somewhere, but I'm not seeing anything to interact with. I'm going to say I've done my best here. Maybe we need to come back with something else. Maybe we need to come back with like some infrared glasses or something that'll help us find hidden things. Okay, that was fun. So let's first attempt to go north. And it's great that I've got 3 keys and a silver key, so effectively 4 keys, because I need to keep a key for that patio up there. Ooh, okay. I've been wondering if there's something that you can faintly see in the background of the title screen, and I've been wondering if it's the furnace, but it's very, very dim, at least on my screen. So I can't quite tell. It sort of looks like the furnace to me, which makes me wonder if the furnace is really, really important. But yeah, either way. What would I like to put here? These are both dead ends, so I'd like to put the archives here. That's just that. But actually, I think I would like to put the archives here, despite the disadvantage of the room, because I've been in the archives a couple of times before, but I think I haven't been here with the looking glass before. So this is a chance to see if there's anything, yeah, that the looking glass might reveal. Okay, but let's make sure that we're sort of also, just before I forget it, if I get super interested in something else. Man, you have to be able to think that we could come back here and find something at some point, you know? Like in these or... okay, the lock. Probably going to be the clock, I would guess. That's mainly what the lock has been coupled with. I can't go up here? No. Where is the other picture? Ah, here. Yeah, the lock and the clock. So C for the archive. Got it. All right. There's no other items or anything waiting, but let's have another look at this, because let's just see if anything interesting is revealed in these pictures when we zoom in. Some kind of necklace that she has there, but what is it? It doesn't look like a moon. I don't know what that looks like. Doesn't necessarily feel like a reveal though, just a detail in the picture. Okay, and nothing really. She's reading a book. She got shoes. She got a hat. The RLCF. I've got to remember that as a potential combination if I have a 4-letter combination somewhere. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do while I've got this up? I'm also going to take a photo with my phone, so that, because there's a lot of details in here. I've tried to write a bunch of them down, but, you know, I can't write every little thing down. So I'm just going to really quickly take photos of all of these to make sure I've got them. Great. Okay, cool. If I ever need to look back on these, I can do that quite easily without having to write everything down meticulously. Either way, do you guys have any secrets? Some sticking out of your pocket? Not by the look of it. So this is probably... Ah, ha, ha, there we go. That was worthwhile. So she is wearing the swan. Does that mean that she kind of identifies with it? To me, if the swan is representative of her mother, of the Lady Epson, does she identify with her mother in some way rather than her uncle? You know? Rather than her father. Hang on. No, this is not... No, that's not her mother. Of course, she's our mother, but she is not the daughter of the uncle. She is the niece, right? Because he's our granduncle. She is his niece. So that's... She is their niece. They are her aunt and uncle. But either way, does she identify with the, you know, with her aunt, maybe? Who is her mother? Who is her mother? I don't know. All right. And how about here? A lot of small little details here in the people. But I suppose it could be that you could notice something here about one of them, but yeah, I don't know what I'm looking out for, so I don't notice anything. Man, I love this music. This music actually reminds me of the music that plays over and over and over again in, what is it called? Dark, I think. Sort of a German mystery show that was on Netflix many, many years ago. Okay. I think that's that for the archive, so let's just try and continue north. We got 2 gems, 3 keys, many coins, we're good. But we now have 1 floor plan that we can't see, which sort of sucks. So, and that puts us in a tricky position. This one would allow us to go at least to the side. This one doesn't. This one is mystery. I'm gonna go mystery. A new room! This must be the laboratory! Oh, that was the correct choice. That was the correct choice. And what do we have in terms of we can only go to the side. That's fine. It's worth it. It's worth it. If this is the last room we get, this is freaking worth it. I am going to note everything in this room. Okay. Oh my God. This is absolute kid in a candy store feeling, yes, let's open this trunk. There is so much here. I'm so interested. Oh, car keys. And we got a gem. Beautiful. So we're back to 2 gems. Oh my God. So good. So good. Okay. There's going to be a lot of just stuff in here that's not actually important, but just looks labby. But the problem is I don't know what's important and I don't know what's labby. Oh, okay. We've got, so we've got a new terminal that has some new menu items on it. Experiment setup. Experimental house features. In the laboratory, you are free to experiment by testing and combining different mechanics to create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. What? A house feature? What do you mean by a house feature? Well, we must try. We must try. So choose a cause from column A and an effect from column B. Okay. Oh, so it's a sort of a, right, I get it. I get it. It's a dynamic, an if and then. Okay. When you draft a red room, lose 5 steps and then, or each time you unlock or bypass a security door. I haven't even come across a security door yet, so whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. This one I feel I'm unlikely to use. So one of these two, I think. Set your dice to 2. Lose 10 steps and gain 20 gold. Like when it says set your dice to 2. Do you mean do you mean the redraw dice? I'm a bit confused by this one. Lose 10 steps and gain 20 gold. I don't really like the idea of losing 10 steps. Gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your house. This one sounds very nice. This one sounds good with no... I think I'm going to do these 2. Because I might use 2 gems drafting and then I would just get a key for every hallway that I have. And actually even at the moment I have quite a few hallways, so yep, thank you. So do you want to create and activate this experimental house feature? After approval, this experimental feature will remain active for the rest of the day. Sure. It's probably not going to be that much longer, so let's give it a go. Research logs. No experiments found. Research logs will be available the day after an experiment has been performed. Oh. Does it... So I wonder if what that means is just that it kind of shows us... it just gives us, I suppose, the information about the experiments that we have... Yeah, that we have done ourselves. Pause experiment? There is an experiment in progress at the moment. Would you like to pause this experiment? No. But that's interesting that they give you that capacity. Log into network. Well, I think we've done everything that we need for the time being. But let me just double check. I should go the other way for W, shouldn't I? Swan... Was it just one word? One word? It'd be nice if it sort of just recognized me and was like, oh, you don't need to enter the password in. You're good. Great. This is the internet sound that I grew up with. Though a very, very quiet, subdued version of it. That's interesting. The permissions of this terminal do not allow for access to the electronic mail. Oh, I've already found it. I've already been to the office and read them all. Okay. Data transfers from Sync are not currently available. We've looked at the glossary of terms, remote terminal access, view active terminals. There are no others. Shelter. Shelter. So maybe, sorry, yeah, I was calling it, what was I calling it? Bunker. No, maybe it's shelter is what I was thinking of. Okay. And then staff services. So there were all of these. So we can do another special order, right? But this is one of the things that we've already done. I think I ordered a sledgehammer. And actually, because I had gone back and seen episode 1, I realized, totally forgot about it. I realized that Sledgehammer I had actually seen it when I first came across the commissary. Sledgehammer was there, And what it allows you to do is smash open the locks on trunks. So it doesn't create, you can't use it to open doors, which makes a lot more sense. But either way, I think I've already ordered one. I might, I don't know if this will interrupt my current order, but let's go for running shoes. Just because I haven't used that yet, I haven't come across that. Okay, and the rest is... Yep, we saw all of that. Is this a different announcement to what I saw? It is. No, it's not. No, it's exactly the same. Yeah, I came across this one. We're all reading for you, Simon. Okay. All right. This is all the same. I guess from this one I don't have the ability to spread money around. Okay. All right. Oh my god. The lab. Finally, the lab. There's going to be a lot to look at here, but I'm going to have to do it in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. I can't believe we're still going with this day, and the amount of progress, like the sheer amount of progress, the things we've learned, the knowledge, yet again, an incredible day of learning and uncovering more of the mysteries in this house. And in the grounds, indeed. So, wow. Cannot wait for the next episode. I hope that you are the same, and I hope to see you in the next episode where we're going to explore the lab in more detail and see what else we can squeeze out of this day. So see you then. Thank you very much.